And I've got to shoot off, because normally, obviously, this time of night, I'd be out and about. It's my Uncle Bernie's house. Don't take the piss, right? You know he got hit on the head about 8 years ago. And since then, right, if you get any of this, right, look, any loose money, can you see that? 20 pences, 10 pence, anything like that. He just freaks out and he goes and hides underneath the table in the kitchen because he's terrified of it. But we're trying to help him, right, and one of the things we're doing, right, is always reminding him. So we've been around his house sort of with a bit of spray paint. And that's the message, Uncle Bernie. It's all right, mate. You can deal with it. Tell you what I'm going to do now. I'm going to welcome back an old friend. It's in a programme that I made lots and lots of years ago, right? And I've featured it. I've showed you this before. This is another episode of it. And I'm going to play it in right from the top, as we say in show business, because it's got the best opening titles in the history of television. Really high tech. And Top of the Pops nicked that, all right? That was my idea, and Top of the Pops nicked it. It's Colin Welland, of course, it's How to Stay Alive. And every week we covered a different, sometimes quite controversial, health subject.
Hello, and welcome to the last programme in our series. What do you think these people have got in common? Henry VIII, the painter Van Gogh, the Russian writer Dostoyevsky, the composer Schubert, 3 medieval popes, including this fellow, Leo X. And finally, Cleopatra. Well, what have they got in common?
They all look like you, Colin. I don't know.
No, it's not. They're all famous, and they haven't all got the same birthday. What they've got in common is an illness.
Right. What they've got in common, all they've got is an illness. And I can tell you, right, we'll turn this into a bit of a parlour game. You have to tell me what you think. Right, play it at home. Get a piece of paper right now. What illness do you think all those people suffered from? And there's somebody else in the audience, right, who suffers from that same illness. So it could be gout, could be flu, could be cholera. I don't know. We'll see.
And we've someone in our audience who can tell us what that illness is because he suffered from it himself.
Right, we know it's a bloke. So what do you think the illness was? And which one of these blokes do you think has suffered from it? Let's have a look.
Haven't you, Archie?
Yes, it's venereal disease.
Yes! And the winner is Archie with the clap! Fantastic. Archie got himself a little dose, that's all right, and he's very proudly come on television, big smile. Yes. Picked up a dose. Let's be realistic about it. Now, if you've seen this programme before, which I hope you have, How to Stay Alive, the one thing you will know is that what they're fantastically good at is very tasteful and scientifically accurate demonstrations of these kind of things.
What has caused this enormous rise in gonorrhea since the 50s? Well, I'm sure Maggie has got some answers for us.
Maggie's his assistant, who's currently being questioned by the clap squad, apparently. So I'm sure Maggie, because Maggie Makepeace, television presenter, but also, never forget, a very, very high background in scientific research.
Right, I've got the graph here on this amazing fruit machine. And in fact, there are lots of possible explanations for this sharp rise in the figures.
Scientific program about gonorrhea. I know, lucky steak. We pull the arm, and if it's your lucky night, you could escape without a dose of crabs. And it gets worse, trust me.
Now, to explain this, I'd like to use this model of a shooting gallery.
Oh, for God's
Just
sake.
imagine that this range of figures are gonorrhea bacteria.
Right, there's the gonorrhea bacteria. Hey, be careful, that's what they look like, all right?
You'll notice that 2 of them are different from the others. They developed a kind of protective coat. It's a natural genetic variation. For example, like some of us having different coloured skin or hair.
So, some of us have different coloured skin or hair, and some of us have gonorrhea bacteria with spiky helmets on.
Now, take a low dose of penicillin, which is the drug commonly used against gonorrhea, shoot it at these germs.
No, I don't want to argue with you, Doctor, but I don't think that is penicillin. But obviously you know better than me.
And what happens?
Well, that did the trick.
Most of the bacteria are killed, but the penicillin hasn't been able to affect the ones that just naturally happen to have the extra protection. Now, the only bacteria left are slightly resistant ones, and they breed to produce a new generation of bacteria. Now, all of these new bacteria have inherited that slight resistance, but once again, a few have been bred which are even more resistant than the rest. This time, the doctors treat the disease with a larger dose of penicillin.
Oh, 2 injections.
Great. Now, all the moderately resistant bacteria are destroyed, and only the extra-resistant ones survive. Again, the same thing happens. The extra-resistant bacteria are left to breed.
Now, hang on. They've already got spiky helmets and flak jackets. How on earth could they have any extra resistance, Maggie?
And they produce another generation. And here it comes. The next generation of bacteria. This time, some of the new generation of bacteria have developed...
Right, now this new generation of bacteria is so strong and so resistant to penicillin, Maggie, there's no way you can possibly get rid of them, sure.